You're watching News 3, the Southern Illinois news leader, live from WSIL TV in high definition. News 3 starts right now.
I don't know what's next.
Recovery from flooding along the Mississippi continues as people in Randolph, Jackson, and Alexander counties prepare for cleanup efforts. Good evening. The Mississippi River dropped 2 feet overnight in Alexander County. However, water still engulfs most homes and businesses in Olive Branch. First responders expect the river level to continue dropping rapidly, but as News 3's Anna Giles shows us, that doesn't mean water levels in Olive Branch will do the same.
Rising backwater is still a big problem in Olive Branch for local property owners. Backwater rose 1.5 inches overnight. Many hope the sandbags they've laid out will hold up as they wait for the water to recede.
It's horrible. It's plumb horrible. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
As fears over a rising river fade away, the real worry now is how much damage will be left behind.
I just soon to be done with it.
Bruce Ford has run an auto repair shop in Olive Branch for more than 2 decades. After just a few days of flooding, he was out of a job.
I've had customers call me today and want to know if I can do anything. They don't realize that I'm under.
Ford plans to leave town if he can get a government buyout deal. The Mississippi River dropped 2 feet overnight and is expected to keep up the fast pace in the next few days. Scott Billings and his family have spent the last few days pumping water out of their hunting club.
But we're trying to save it. We lost it in 2011, and we just finished rebuilding it.
In the face of cold temperatures and brutal wind chill, families in Olive Branch continue to fight. First responders are confident they've got the situation under control right now, but are still recommending that local residents evacuate. In Olive Branch, Anna Giles, News 3.
Meanwhile, the US 51 Ohio River Bridge in Cairo remains closed. Floodwater is covering the approach levee on the Kentucky side of the bridge. A detour is available at the Interstate 24 Ohio River Bridge. Kentucky transportation officials will alert the public when that bridge reopens. Now to Randolph County, where rising waters from the Mississippi forced the Chester Bridge connecting Illinois and Missouri to close nearly a week ago. News 3's Rachel Dunsing shows us tonight that drivers will soon be able to cross that bridge again.
Now that river levels are starting to recede along the Mississippi, the many people who use the Chester Bridge as part of their commute are wondering when they'll be able to take their cars across it again. Dale Burley lives in Perryville, Missouri, but drives to Chester every day for work. But because of flooding, his commute has become significantly longer.
It went from about a 20-minute drive to about 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Ed Hess of the Missouri Department of Transportation says it was actually the rising water on the Missouri side that caused the bridge to close.
Actually, the Chester Bridge isn't the reason why this road is closed right now. It's the next bridge over that still has water against the girders.
And while Burley has enjoyed the new scenery on his longer commute, he's happy the water is going down and that cleanup can now begin.
I know the cleanup's a major deal, but at least we can get the roads open and stuff like that.
While the Chester Bridge has remained closed for nearly a week, MoDOT officials are hopeful that if everything goes to plan, it will reopen tonight. In Chester, Rachel Dunsing, News 3.
And in Jackson County, residents of Grand Tower appear to have avoided major flooding. As News 3 Ronnie LaForge shows us, a levee break farther south may have saved that community.
City Hall has been a gathering place for residents and volunteers since the river began to rise a week ago. Donations have been pouring in from surrounding communities looking to lend a helping hand.
We had gotten a list together that they needed, and so we went and bought the stuff and brought it. There's a great need whenever the water comes up in the communities, and so we just felt like that was something that we wanted to do.
While others rallied to help, Grand Tower residents spent the week watching river levels, hoping that the Big Muddy levee would hold.
What happened was this rain happened at a really strange time when they were rebuilding a bad section of levee, putting a new drainage tile in, and the 7-inch rain hit them and we were kind of stuck.
Last week, a suggested evacuation had residents thinking the worst.
We got our guinea pig, our dog, and our kids. Nothing more important than that.
There's no use to panic except get your kids out, the young ones, get them going. The ones that can handle themselves, and you get them in the truck and you go start throwing sandbags.
Many in Grand Tower believe the levee breach in Thebes may have saved their community.
If that levee hadn't have broke down there, it'd be an altogether different story over here in town. She was going to come through here. There's no doubt in my mind.
Now, as the community tries to return to normal, townspeople are reminded why they stay.
But when you look at the wall and you realize that this isn't just our lives, this is history, where we're from and what we've done. And like I said, when you think about, well, you're going to have to go, you just can't walk away from it.
Officials say the evacuation recommendation could be lifted as soon as Wednesday or Thursday. Reporting in Jackson County, Ronnie LaForge, News 3.
More typical winter temperatures in our region today. Here's Jim with a first look at weather.
Yeah, starting to feel a little more like the season. A lot of clouds around today actually kept temperatures from moving a whole lot. So this morning's readings coming in from some of our WeatherNet sites actually a little warmer than normal, but this afternoon cooler than normal. And we've not seen a lot of afternoons this winter that have been cooler than normal. 27 for the low this morning in Harrisburg and Golconda, 29 in Vienna, 35 degrees the high in Harrisburg, 38 the high today in Dongola. Looking ahead to the next 24 hours or so, some of the coldest readings we have seen yet this season coming up tonight. Low temperatures into the low 20s. We are expecting some southeast breezes tomorrow, a shift from the north winds that we saw today. If those winds shift early tonight, we may not see readings as low as 21, maybe more like a 23 or 24. Tomorrow afternoon, quite a bit of sunshine, some clouds moving in. It looks like high temperatures again cooler than normal, but close. Upper 30s to around 40 kicks off a warming trend that will run all week long. Could be back to 50 plus by Friday afternoon. We'll talk more about that in the forecast. It's coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jim. A local foundation is asking for donations to help victims of the recent flooding. The Southern Illinois Community Foundation is accepting donations to the Regional Disaster Fund. They say all the money will go to help people affected by flooding. Donations can be made online or through a number of area banks.